Welcome to another episode here on my channel. My name is ChaosMole, and today I want to, react and more importantly, act on the Harris Heller video, which is saying a message to Prime, Trovo, and all the other new streaming platforms. This is a video he just posted, and as somebody who is actually streaming on one of those platforms, aka Trovo, I think I find this very curious. And I've only watched it for a minute, but there are already a few things I want to point out from the perspective of a person who actually streams on one of those platforms. And yeah, I would say we are watching this together. I'm also watching this live with my community. So if I am actually reacting and talking to people and you're like, who the hell is he talking to? I talk to my chat. Yeah, grab all your popcorns. You will need that. Do it. And welcome in, folks. Here, take two. Let's do this. Let's watch this. And I will pause here and there to give my own opinion and thoughts on this. Keep in mind that I am, even though I might not be on the same level as Mr. Heller here, I very much respect him because he is a very thoughtful person and very thought out and informed. So, yeah, keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. All right, let's listen to this. Let's see what the audio says.
So I made a couple people a little bit upset in the last video when I said this. Oh, by the way, we're talking about the three main streaming platforms, Twitch, YouTube, and Facebook. I know I'll get a bajillion comments like, what about Prime? Guys, Prime's not a real platform. Stop worrying about it. And you know what? That's fair to be a little bit upset. I don't think I've really spoken on this topic much except for like small excerpts, like tiny parts in other videos. And I do think as streamers, you guys deserve to know why I'm a little hesitant of these smaller platforms and why I generally don't give them much validity. Because it's not me being an elitist or anything. I do want these platforms to succeed. I think the more competition the big platforms have, the more they're going to be forced to innovate and pay streamers more. They're going to try to get...
Yeah, we talked about this before, right? Like, competition breeds innovation. And that's exactly what Mixer did. Like, even if Mixer didn't take off, the years where Mixer existed, you actually saw Twitch alone to finally get off their asses and do something. Like, before Mixer even existed, and then YouTube came around and Facebook, like, those were events where Twitch was finally like, competition in my area, oh my. Like, it wasn't always successful, but they had to act. So yeah, that's good.
Get you guys to use their platforms. I just think before you hand the keys of your career over to these smaller platforms, they should have to prove themselves to you. Otherwise, you're just going to end up being another Mixer streamer, just let down by your platform. So what things should you consider if you're looking at using a small platform to start your career?
It's kind of funny that he says that, and he's right. Like, Mixer has let us down. Absolutely. And some people actually had a pretty good streaming career and they were growing, and Mixer was just like, doesn't matter. Boom. But it's kind of funny that he moved to YouTube live streaming. And I'm personally somebody who is still not 100% convinced by YouTube live streaming, because YouTube is still treating YouTube live streaming as the red-headed stepchild, as I love to call it. Like, they are not 100% in on it. They're not caring 100% for it. And he basically make that move, not to a small platform, but a platform who is still a little bit hesitant on how streaming works. Right? Like, YouTube still hasn't fully figured out how they want to manage their streaming portion here. So he himself moved basically to a platform where he doesn't 100% know where streaming is going with it. I'm not saying that YouTube is going out of commission or anything. Like, even if they would close down live streaming on YouTube, YouTube still exists, right? That's the safety net a Twitch doesn't have, Mixer didn't have. When they did shut down, like Mixer did shut down, or if Twitch would shut down, that would mean that's the end. There is no safety net. On YouTube, there's always the safety net of the videos. Simple as that. But it's still like a little bit funny that he says like, hey, if you're trusting those small platforms, you're trusting them the key, well, with the keys of your career. You're doing the same thing with YouTube a little bit in some sort of way. But he is right, like, the streamers got hugely burned by this. And this is why a lot of Mixer streamers do not trust any of the new platforms. Like, not a single bit. So he is absolutely right on that.
Let's start with Mixer, since we learned a valuable lesson from it that I really don't think we should forget. Mixer died. Mixer was funded by the massive company Microsoft. Mixer had some momentum in its growth moving forward. Mixer had some of the most famous streamers broadcasting on their platform, and Mixer even had some unique, valuable technology providing value to streamers.
Yeah, but Mixer didn't have a strategy, really. Mixer didn't had a plan, so to speak. Like, they had the money, but they burned the money without real goal. Or they basically focused on the wrong goals, so to speak.
And Mixer still died, leaving a lot of streamers in limbo, not sure where they're going to go or if they'll even have a career. Immediately, a bunch of those new tiny streaming platforms popped up, hoping...
Hold on. Small mistake here. Lunar is not a streaming platform. I don't know what this is doing here. But Lunar is a game streaming platform like Xbox Cloud, like Stadia. Lunar is the game live streaming platform from Amazon. They are not a streaming platform for gamers. This is where you can get basically your games immediately streamed on your browser or your phone or something like that. So I have actually no clue what this is doing here. Like, this is one of the things where I'm like, huh? What is Luna doing here? Glimish, I mean, let's be honest here, Glimish is dead. Like, I think today the community manager of Glimish announced that they resigned. And keep in mind, Glimish is a very, very small company, so to speak. And she also wrote like a pretty long letter on why she left. And Glimish will disappear by the end of the year. Sorry, Glimish will disappear. But yeah, Lunar again. Lunar is not a live streaming platform, so I don't really know where he got that idea from. Like, if he would have looked into this for just like 10 seconds, he would have also realized Amazon. And again, gaming streaming platform, not for live streamers. Weird.
To scoop up a lot of these homeless, desperate streamers. And a good chunk of them actually joined, as if they had already forgotten what happens when a small streamer...
Not true by Trovo. And this is, I think, like, this is the story of Glimish. Like, this is what Glimish built on. Glimish built on the idea of, hey, for all the people who lost Mixer, we are the new Mixer. That's what Glimish did. Like, that's what Glimish did. Trovo existed before Mixer did shut down, actually. Believe it or not. Trovo existed a few months before Mixer did shut down. It was called Mad Cats. And that was basically like their alpha beta prototype they had running. But that thing already existed way before Mixer did got shut down. So the point he is making here that Trovo just tries to scoop up all the people who left Mixer, for Trovo is not valid. For Glimish, yes. Not for Trovo.
Streaming platform can't make the cut. Mixer dying should have scarred them more. And here is my thought on this topic, like in a nutshell.
It did scar them a lot. Like, it took me 9 months, and like it totally did scar me. But again, when I look at Twitch, then I don't really see why it couldn't happen on Twitch anyways. Same goes with YouTube. Like, yeah, let him continue.
When you join a small streaming platform, you are putting your career in the hands of that platform, hoping that if the platform grows, you will rise along with it. But that also means if the platform can't figure out how to succeed, like Mixer or DLive or Caffeine or the bajillion other small streaming platforms that never took off, you have literally zero chance of success. Growing on big platforms like Twitch or YouTube is definitely hard, but the audience is there, which means the control of success is in your hand.
I very much disagree with this. As, like, I know we have talked about this topic multiple times over the years. Twitch doesn't have the audience. Like, the more you're looking into the numbers, like taking actually a deep dive beyond just Stream Hatch or like the reports they're pushing out now and then, Twitch is in a huge problem of not having the numbers to sustain the streamers there. And they're funneling more and more of the viewers to the top streamers because that's where they can make the money, and that's where they know that people will spend money. And that's what they have to do. And I very much disagree here to say that on Twitch, like, your success is in your own hands. I disagree with that. I don't think the time that you actually have a chance of steering your success on Twitch has faded very much over the last few years. YouTube, I agree with YouTube. And I said this before. Thanks to the algorithm of YouTube, everyone gets a fair shot. And if you're also a YouTube content creator at the same time, you can use the synergy between your YouTube account or your YouTube channel and your YouTube live streaming in ways you cannot do on any other platform. So when it comes to YouTube, yes, you are very much at the steering wheel, and you can somewhat control your success. Absolutely. There's no question about that. But on Twitch, no, I disagree with that. Like, all the numbers I've been going through doesn't really show me that that is the case anymore.
Moving to a small platform means you give up that control entirely, and it becomes a gamble.
No.
Is the platform going to succeed? That's what determines whether or not you succeed. Never bet.
Here's the thing, like, Mixer has for me been a very interesting example. Like I said it before, we were one of the biggest variety streamers on the platform with hundreds of and thousands sometimes of viewers watching me playing new games. And I was bigger than a lot of the Twitch channels out there. A lot of the Twitch variety streamers out there in comparison. So to say that this, but because the point he's making, right? Like, Twitch didn't take off. Mixer didn't take off. And you are not in control of your own making. I was like, no. Like, apparently I streamed on a failed platform with Mixer, but I was still crucially successful there. I mean, why do you believe that Twitch gave me partnership when I moved over there? They gave me the partnership on Twitch because of my numbers on Mixer I pulled, because I could show them that for months and months and months I had a lot of views. I created a lot of numbers. And that was the reason why they gave me the partnership on Twitch. Interestingly enough, on Twitch, I haven't really changed anything of the things I did. And my numbers just crashed and burned completely on Twitch. And you were trying to figure out what was the cause of it. And I will be completely honest here. The cause is, I don't know, on Twitch. That's the problem. So to say that when you are moving to a small platform, it's now all up to the platform. Yeah, of course, you get more viewers when the platform is also growing, or you hope to get more viewers when the platform is growing. Like, if that is his point, he is absolutely right upon that. But I wouldn't say you are just completely helpless. I actually felt in more control of my viewer base on Trovo than I ever had on Twitch. Like, simple as that.
Your success on someone else who doesn't care about your success. But here's the deal. There is a chance that Twitch gets shut down. It's not profitable, so I'm sure Amazon's not happy. The RIAA, the entire music industry, is super mad at it. It's allowing illegal gambling on its website. Like, if...
Yeah, this is definitely one of the things. Like, people always say that Twitch is immune against being shut down. And I have saying now for months, if not even years, that's not the case. Twitch can be shut down as quickly as Mixedit got shut down. But people don't want to see that. Because Twitch has so many things going on that at some point there might be actually a chance that they are riling up the wrong people at the wrong place, and then Amazon is just like, yeah, okay, no, that's too much. That's too much work. They're not making enough money for us, and they are creating problems for us, Amazon, the main platform. No, thanks.
If the FBI shut it down tomorrow, I wouldn't be that surprised. So, What does a new platform have to do to establish itself as a good alternative option? It needs three things. It needs to have an idea that provides unique value to streamers. It has to have something important that other streaming platforms don't have.
Agree.
It can't just be this tiny rip-off Twitch. Most of these new platforms don't have this one, let alone the next two. It needs to have resources to actually build that idea. This is why small startups are iffy in this space. You are up against Google, Amazon, and Facebook. How are you going to fight that fight?
Yeah, it becomes more and more clear that he doesn't know much about Trovo. But let him continue.
3, you need an audience. You need viewers.
Yes.
But unfortunately, in order to get viewers, you need streamers. But in order to bring streamers over, you have to have viewers to watch them. And in order to get viewers, you have to get streamers. Number 3 is a vicious cycle. And it's what killed Mixer.
But it can kill also Twitch. Like, weird. Like, this third requirement is like, well, then technically no streaming platform should succeed. Okay, let's have a look at the things. Does Trovo has ideas? Yes. Trovo has an absolute idea of what they are doing. This is why I actually moved to Trovo, because I wanted to see if they have an idea. And also, I'm sorry, Harris, I didn't want to give you that look. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. You look great. I'm sorry. Looked like stoned. I'm so sorry, man. Please ignore his face for a second. Trovo has an idea. Trovo has a plan on what they want to do, which brings us immediately into the audience and the streamers. They have ideas and they have the audience because they are trying to reach people in areas around the world which are not already completely occupied by Twitch. And that is Eastern Europe, that is like the Spanish-speaking areas, and Europe itself. Those are the areas which are not occupied by Twitch already. Like That was one of the biggest mistakes Mixer, in my opinion, did. Mixer, being a Microsoft company, completely focused on USA, NA. And they tried to steal viewers from Twitch, which will not work and didn't work. So Trovo is actually doing the smart thing here, trying to evade Twitch as much as possible and try to scoop up the viewers and streamers from the regions which are already underrepresented. Simple as that. They have ideas because they are also focusing on mobile for now. Like, mobile is one of their biggest audience drivers on the platform. That doesn't mean you cannot stream from your PC, you cannot play PC games like, hello, I'm doing that, or like console stuff. But one of the biggest audience and idea drivers is mobile. Simple as that. Like, they are focusing on that because on Twitch, when you're looking at Twitch, mobile is non-existent. You're looking at the categories like Call of Duty Mobile, PUBG Mobile, or something like that, and you look at the numbers and you're like, whoa, they're dead. And so this is what is driving Trovo right now, and this is why they are getting viewers, because they are focusing very much on categories which the other streaming platforms do not. And so Trovo doesn't have that problem. So the requirements he is posting here is actually reasonable, but the good thing is that Trovo is actually having that. And that brings us to the second point. As you can see, I have been danced around the whole second point, resources. Trovo is owned by one of the largest company on the planet, Tencent. They are 100% subsidiary of Tencent. Believe me, they are having the resources. That he is not aware of this in this video is a bit unfortunate. Like, it's one of the other things like, okay, you are throwing Trovo in here with zero resources, and I get it. Tencent is doing a pretty good job to omit that they are owning Trovo for various reasons. But that he doesn't really know about this is like he's saying like, yeah, Trovo has to go up against Amazon, against Facebook. Oh no, what will they do? Excuse me? They have, like, they're Tencent. Like, what?
Vicious cycle, and it's what killed Mixer. Twitch and YouTube have all three. I would say Facebook is working on number 3 right now. I really don't think I've seen any other player accomplish step 1 yet. Whenever I look at these new streaming platforms and try to figure out what they're about, they all say the same thing. Hey, we're a new streaming platform that's going to change the game, or for streamers by streamers, or the big one that I see a lot is like community driven or community focused, which doesn't mean anything. Like, every platform is community focused until their community gets too big to focus on it. Twitch was community focused 6 years ago. I would love to see a platform that has a specific plan that makes it better than any other one.
As soon
as I see that, I will definitely let you know. But I also understand that I'm going to get comments on videos like these that say, but Harris, you're stomping out these small platforms before they ever have a chance to compete with YouTube or Twitch. And I disagree with you for 2 reasons. First of all, I haven't seen any of them show me a single sign that they know how to get any further than Mixer did. The only one I think has a chance is Trovo, and the only reason that is because it's run by Tencent, which is
now he's acknowledging it.
Company that owns everything in the gaming space. And even then, I'm gonna have a hard time recommending jumping over to Trovo right now. I promise you, I'm not killing
But
any
why
of
is
these
he not
platforms
recommending
right now.
it?
Based on what I've seen, every one of them is doomed to fail in the next year or two unless they make some serious changes. Secondly, my loyalty is not to these platforms. It's to you, the streamer. And if it's very clear to me that these platforms, 99% of them are all
I would
going to
love to
die
know
in the next year or
why
two,
he's
it's
saying
my
that.
job to tell you that. I'm definitely not going to lie to you and tell you to flood this platform and stream on it and throw a bunch of those creators under the bus just because I want to give the platform a chance. Look, new streaming platforms, this is feedback. This is honest feedback, and I think it's good feedback. And what any good business should do is take these doubts that I'm having, bring them back to the drawing board and say, what is valid about these? What can we use in these doubts to change and make a better product? Instead, all that's happened so far is a bunch of small Twitch ripoffs have popped up, and the Brime CTO has said I can suck his which is fine. I'm not trying to get anyone canceled. All I'm saying
I don't even
is
know what Brime
I
is,
haven't seen the mature
to be honest.
leadership in this industry enough to actually accomplish anything.
All right. Well, fair points there. But again, I very much disagree with him. Like, as I said before, I do believe that there is actually a good chance for Trovo that they will make it. And that they have a plan, that they are driving an audience, and like that they are doing the right thing. That's why I choose Trovo. And I said it before and I say it again. I totally believe that streaming everywhere but on Twitch is better. Like, Twitch right now is just... it's a mess, and it's completely overpopulated with streamers, not enough viewers to go around, and the chance of you being discovered is like relatively slim. And the thing is, like, there's a reason that Mr. Harris Heller moved from Twitch to YouTube, because when you look at his numbers, he also didn't grow that much on Twitch anymore. Like, don't get me wrong, he brought a lot of his YouTube audience over to Twitch, and this is why he had hundreds of viewers. But I was watching him for a few months. I was looking at his numbers for like a few months. He never really did grew that much on Twitch. This is why he moved to YouTube. And this is not to blame him or anything or say like, look at him. But it's like he made a decision to move away from Twitch because also he realized that Twitch is a graveyard, a dead end, with only a few people having even the slightest chance to get out of it. And if they're getting out of it, that is mostly because they were lucky. So I have to, like, I'm not saying that criticizing Trovo and Trovo is perfect and Trovo has nothing to fear about. No. It is a gamble. He's right with that. Absolutely. I'm totally believing that. And they have things they have to change. And we talked about those things. And we will definitely talk about them again. But I think of all the platforms which are out there, Trovo is actually moving into the right direction right now. They have a plan, they have the resources, and they are fostering the audience. So, yeah, I think we have to agree to disagree on the state of Trovo here a little bit. So with that said, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, well, the like button is right there if you're on your way out. If you didn't like this video, well, the dislike button is right next to it. And if you're new to the channel, you want to see more reaction videos, more gaming news, tips and tricks, guides, and so on and so forth, the whole gaming shebang, I would also appreciate if you might consider to subscribe to the channel. It will help me a lot. And one last thing, I want to make this very clear. This was not a video to bash on Mr. Harris Heller here, not at all. I think he is normally a very informed person and a very thought out person, and that is his opinion, and he is completely entitled to that opinion. There's no wrong on this, but I wanted to make it because I disagreed quite a bit on this. So again, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, and I hope I see you next time.